Now there are two sets of transformations which are very important for studying complex number geometry. And the first one is multiplication with a positive constant. So suppose we have any complex number z which is represented by r into e to the power iota theta, where r is modulus and theta is its argument, and suppose it is this complex number z. Now this is r and this angle, it is theta. So suppose this is O and this is some point P. Now suppose we multiply this z with some number, say k, then z dash will be k into z and it will be kr e to the power iota theta. So as we can see, its argument does not change. So this z dash, it will lie along the same line as z, but now its magnitude will be k times r. If k is greater than 1, then basically we have stretched it, and if k is less than 1, that means we have compressed it. Suppose we take k as 2, then we can write z dash as 2z. It will be in the same direction as z, but twice the magnitude. And if we take k as 1 by 2, then we'll write z dash as 1 by 2z, then it will be in the same direction but half the magnitude. So if we multiply any complex number with a positive constant, then its argument does not change, only its magnitude is going to change by this factor k with which we have multiplied this complex number. Now the next one is multiplication with e to the power iota alpha. So now again, suppose we have this z which is r into e to the power iota theta, and now we have multiplied this z with e to the power iota alpha. Now when we have multiplied with e to the power iota alpha, we can write this as r e to the power iota theta plus alpha. Now in this case, r is same. So there is no change in the modulus of this complex number. Only its argument has changed by this angle alpha. So suppose this is our z, which is r and theta. Now we multiply it with e to the power iota alpha, then its modulus will remain the same. So it will be r again, but now its argument will be theta plus alpha. That's your z dash. So we multiply with a positive constant, then argument remains the same, its magnitude changes, and if we multiply it with e to the power iota alpha, then its modulus remains the same, only its argument is increased by an angle alpha in the anti-clockwise direction. Now here the question is, the vector z, which is minus 4 plus 5 iota, it is turned anti-clockwise through an angle of 180 degrees. So we know that when we rotate a vector by an angle alpha in the anti-clockwise direction about origin, it will be minus 4 plus 5 iota into e to the power iota pi, which is minus 4 plus 5 iota into minus 1. So this z1 will be 4 minus 5 iota. Now it says it is stretched 1.5 times. So here we are changing the modulus without changing the argument. So this final complex number will be 1.5 times 4 minus 5 iota. Now it will be 6 minus 15 by 2 iota, and that's your option A. Now here the question is, a particle P starts from point Z0, which is 1 plus 2 iota. So we have this point Z0, which is 1 plus 2 iota. Now it says it moves first horizontally away from the origin by 5 units. So we have moved it away from the origin horizontally by 5 units. So now it will be at 6 plus 2 iota, and then vertically away from origin by 3 units. So we have moved now vertically 3 units away from origin. So it will be 6 plus 5 iota. Now this point is Z1. That says from Z1, the particle moves root 2 units in the direction of vectors I cap plus j cap. That is in this direction, where this vector, it makes an angle 45 degrees with x-axis, and its magnitude is root 2 units. So root 2 cos 45 is 1 and root 2 sin 45 is also 1. So that means now we have to add 1 unit horizontally and 1 unit vertically. So now this point is 7 plus 6 iota. Now it says it moves through an angle pi by 2 in anti-clockwise direction on a circle with center at origin to reach a point Z2. So now we have rotated this point about origin by an angle pi by 2. Now we know that if we rotate a complex number by some angle without changing its magnitude, its new coordinate, which is Z2, will be given by 7 plus 6 iota and then e to the power iota alpha, where alpha is angle in the anti-clockwise direction, and here this angle is pi by 2. Now e to the power iota pi by 2 is nothing but iota, so it will be 7 plus 6 iota into iota, which is minus 6 plus 7 iota, and that's your option D. So if we are stretching or compressing a complex number, we have to multiply it with a constant, and if we have to keep the magnitude same, and if we have to rotate the complex number, then we have to multiply it with e to the power iota alpha. Now if we combine both these transformations, then we can write, suppose this is Z and this is Z dash, this is R, this is R dash, suppose this is theta and this is theta plus alpha, so this angle will be alpha, and suppose this is O, this is A and this is B. Now we can assume that this B is formed from A by rotating it by an angle alpha in the anti-clockwise direction and then stretching its magnitude to R dash. So we can write this Z dash as R dash e to the power iota theta plus alpha, where Z is R into e to the power iota theta. Now we divide them, we can write Z dash upon Z will be R dash upon R e to the power iota alpha, or we can write Z dash upon Z will be, now R dash is OB upon OA e to the power iota alpha. So this is basically our working formula to work out problems on rotation and stretching. So what we'll do is we'll define two vectors, say OA and OB, and we'll try and rotate them in such a way that this rotation is generally in anti-clockwise direction. So what we'll say is we'll start with OA and then we'll rotate this OA to make it OB. So this is your final and this is initial. So we'll write final upon initial, so which is Z dash upon Z will be equal to magnitude of final OB upon magnitude of initial OA, and then e to the power iota angle between them, which is e to the power iota alpha. Now this is a very simple case where both the vectors, they are sourced from origin, so they are similar to position vectors. Now here the question is, let Z1 and Z2 be roots of this equation. Z square plus PZ plus Q equals 0. Now we can write sum of roots as minus P and product of roots as Q. Now it says let A and B represent Z1 and Z2 in the complex plane. So we have 2 points A and B. Suppose this is A and this is B. This is Z1 and this is Z2. That says if OA equals OB and this angle is alpha, then we need to prove that P square equals 4Q cos square alpha by 2. Now what we'll do is, again we'll use rotation here. We can write Z2 upon Z1 will be OB upon OA into e to the power iota alpha. Now it is given that OB is equal to OA. We can write this as Z1 plus Z2 upon Z1. It is equal to 1 plus e to the power iota alpha. Now Z1 plus Z2 is minus P. So we can write Z1 as minus P upon 1 plus cos alpha plus iota sin alpha, which we can write as minus P, and this is 2 cos square alpha by 2 plus iota 2 sin alpha by 2 into cos alpha by 2. So this Z1 will be minus P upon 2 cos alpha by 2 and e to the power minus iota alpha by 2, and that's our first equation. Now by putting the value of Z1, we can find Z2. We can write Z2 as Z1 into e to the power iota alpha, so it will be minus P upon 2 cos alpha by 2 into e to the power iota alpha by 2, and that's your second result. Now we'll multiply them. Now we multiply them, we can write Z1 into Z2 will be P square upon 4 cos square alpha by 2, and product of roots is nothing but Q. So from here we can write P square, it must be equal to 4Q cos square alpha by 2, and which is what we need to prove. But in more general case, say for example, suppose we have 3 points A, B and C. So this is say A, this is B and this is C. Now this is Z1, Z2 and Z3, and suppose this angle is alpha. Now we'll define two vectors. Now this is BA and BC. Now here I would like to make it clear that complex number is not a vector, but we are going to treat them as vectors to assist us in simplifying the problem. Now here we'll take these Z1, Z2 and Z3 as position vectors of A, B and C. Now this is vector BA and it is nothing but position vector of A minus position vector of B. So we'll write this vector as Z1 minus Z2. Then the same way, this vector BC will be Z3 minus Z2. Now we want to rotate it in such a way that this angle of rotation is in anti-clockwise direction. So we'll rotate BC to make it AB. So this is your final and this is initial. So we write final upon initial. So we can write this as Z1 minus Z2 upon Z3 minus Z2 will be equal to ratio of their magnitudes. So this is AB upon BC and then into e to the power iota angle between them, which is simply alpha. So it will be AB upon BC into e to the power iota alpha. So this is the general case of transformation where we have done both rotation as well as stretching. So for most of the problems in rotation and stretching, we'll be using this method. Now the question is, a man walks a distance of 3 units from origin towards the northeast direction. From there, he walks a distance of 4 units towards northwest to reach a point P. Then position of P in the Argand plane is. So now we are given that a man walks a distance of 3 units from origin towards the northeast direction. So this is 3 units and this angle is 45 degrees. Now the coordinate of this point will be 3 into e to the power iota pi by 4. Now it says from this point he walks a distance of 4 units towards northwest. So now he is moving 4 units towards northwest. So this angle, it is 90 degrees now. We need to find position of this point P. Now say this point is ZP, this is Z1 and this is origin. Now let this point be A. Now what we'll do is we'll assume that we have this vector OA and we have rotated OA by an angle pi by 2 to make this vector AP. Now this vector is ZP minus Z1 and this vector is simply z1. So we can write zp minus z1 upon z1 will be equal to ap upon oa into e to the power iota pi by 2. Now zp minus z1 upon z1 will be, now what's ap? ap is 4 and oa is 3, so it will be 4 by 3, and then e to the power iota pi by 2 is simply iota. So we can write zp upon z1 will be 1 plus 4 iota by 3, or zp is z1 by 3 into 3 plus 4 iota. Now z1 by 3 is e to the power iota pi by 4. So we can write this as e to the power iota pi by 4. So this zp, it will be 3 plus 4 iota into e to the power iota pi by 4, and that's your option D. Now here the question is, complex numbers z1, z2 and z3 are vertices of an isosceles right angle triangle ABC with right angle at C. So we'll draw this figure. So it's a right angle triangle. This angle is C, and suppose this is A and this is B. This is Z1, Z2 and Z3. Now we'll write rotation for these two vectors and we'll rotate it in anti-clockwise direction. Now this is Z2 minus Z3 and this is Z1 minus Z3. So we can write Z2 minus Z3 upon Z1 minus Z3, it is equal to BC upon AC e to the power iota pi by 2. So BC and AC will cancel. Now e to the power iota pi by 2 is nothing but iota. Now we'll square both sides. We can write Z2 minus Z3 whole square will be equal to iota square, which is minus 1, and then Z1 minus Z3 whole square. Now this is Z2 square plus Z3 square minus 2 Z2 Z3, and this is minus Z1 square minus Z3 square plus 2 times Z1 Z3. Now we'll rearrange it a bit. We can write this as Z1 square plus Z2 square, and it will be equal to 2 Z2 Z3 plus 2 Z1 Z3 minus 2 Z3 square. Now we need Z1 minus Z2 whole square. So what we'll do is we'll subtract 2 Z1 Z2 both sides. Now on the left hand side, we'll now have Z1 minus Z2 whole square, and on the right hand side, from this we'll take 2Z3 common. So it will be 2Z3 and then Z2 minus Z3, and from this we'll take 2Z1 common. So it will be 2Z1 Z3 minus Z2. Now here we need Z3 minus Z2. So we'll take Z3 minus Z2 common. So we can write this as Z1 minus Z2 whole square 2 times, and this is Z1 minus Z3 into Z3 minus Z2, and this is what we need to prove. Now here the question is, Z1 and Z2 lie on a circle with center at origin, and the point of intersection Z3 of the tangents at Z1 and Z2 is given by. So we have a circle whose center is at origin, and then we have 2 points Z1 and Z2. Now it says tangents drawn at Z1 and Z2, they intersect at Z3. Now we need to find Z3 in terms of Z1 and Z2. If we join these two radius with point of contact, and this is 90, and if this is theta, this angle is pi minus theta. Now we'll write rotation for these two vectors. So we can write Z1 upon Z2 will be equal to R upon R into e to the power iota theta, that is value of Z1 upon Z2 is e to the power iota theta. Now we'll write rotation for these two vectors and we're going to rotate them in anti-clockwise direction. So we'll write Z2 minus Z3 upon Z1 minus Z3 will be equal to length of tangent and they'll be same. So it will be L upon L e to the power iota I minus theta. Now this L and L will cancel. Now we'll multiply them. So if we multiply them, we'll get Z1 into Z2 minus Z3 upon Z2 into Z1 minus Z3 and it is equal to e to the power iota pi, which is minus 1. Now we cross multiply, we can write Z1 Z2 minus Z1 Z3 and it will be equal to minus Z1 Z2 plus Z2 Z3. Now we can write Z3 as 2 Z1 Z2 upon Z1 plus Z2 and that's your option B.